Hello, this is Pentecost from IV bringing you a Feca spell tutorial for the upcoming update, Dofus 2.4. This major update includes part of the overhaul of the class Feca and will be accompanied by a lot of spell changes. That means that once it hits live, you're going to be swimming in this massive pool of spell points. But no matter, this video will attempt to break down the changes and give you some perspective on what you might want to raise in this new version. Just before we get started though, a warning and reminder that this was made on the 25th of September. Things are subject to change because this is still the beta server, but hopefully not, because they've had this version of beta for a while. So without much ado, let's get started. To a spells tab, and here we go. Reinforced protection. This one didn't change on the face of it. However, due to a system change, those times when you cast it on an ally and it expired at the end of their turn should now be fixed. It's more of a bugs fix really, and it's more usable. If you liked it previously, you'd like it better in this new version. Natural attack. This one got a buff. It's now 3 AP at all levels. It has raised damage. It used to be 913, now it's 1214 at level 6. The crit hit rate has been reduced from 150 to 140. It has boosted critical hit damage, and the only downside is that it's 3 casts per target now. But this shouldn't matter with all the glyphs and buffs that you have to keep up. Earth Armor. This one didn't change, but it's going to be changed sometime into one armor spell when Ankama decides to get to it. So that'll be really good, it will free up a lot of spell points. Next up, Aggressive Glyph. This one didn't change. Liquefy, this one didn't change. It's not really a class spell either. Spell Rebound. This one is one of my favourite changes. It now reflects level 6 spells at all levels, meaning you no longer have to invest 15 spell points just to be useful in PvP. The only thing that changes throughout the levels 1 to 6 is the cooldowns and the range. It's 11 turns of cooldown at level 1 and 6 turns of cooldown at level 6. If you're stuck on spell points, it's good to keep it at level 3. Blindness. This one got a little buff in the sense that it's more consistent. It always takes 2 AP now at level 1 to 5. And it definitely always takes 3 AP at level 6. The damage is now also consistent and semi-high in that it's 912 at level 6. Glowing Armor, this is another armor that didn't change. Cloudy Attack. This one is completely changed. It's now a water attack. It steals chance, up to 80 per shot on a crit, and stacks twice. You can only have 2 stacks, so on a level 6 version of it, you can only have 120 chance on 2 non-crits or 160 chance on double crits. It's a nice spell for a hybrid as the boost in stats is quite significant. But it's only affordable if you can get the spell points. We're quite already tight on points unless they do the armor change, so if you can manage it, it's a great spell. If you're chance build, it's right up your alley. Aqueous is the same stuff, this one didn't change. Immunity had a minor change in the sense that it's all 3 AP throughout the levels from 1 to 6. The only thing that changes between it, like Spell Rebound, is the cooldowns and the range. So you can keep this one at level 3 also, as you might want to free up some spell points. Next up, Wind Armor, that's another armor that didn't change. Bubble. Bubble is now 3 AP at all levels. It has less random damage, 1921 at level 6, and it's a bit unfortunate that they didn't lift the 2 casts per target or the awkward range. Nonetheless, we have some kind of buffs, so that's good. Next up, Truce. I don't think this one underwent any changes. Fraction, similar story. I don't think this went under any changes. Backlash. This is one of the anticipated changes. It's now an earth attack. I actually prepared it to be a neutral attack, but beggars can't be choosers. The SDR Steel is now 60 non-crit and 80 crit on level 6, much like Cloudy Attack. And like Cloudy Attack, it can only stack twice. The damage is also raised and consistent, 27, 29 on level 6 crit, non-crit, sorry, and 33, 35 on a crit. It's definitely worth raising if you're into STR hybrid or STR hybrid of any sort. Glyph of Blindness. This one is a really weird one. They changed it so you always take 3 AP, so that's one of the buffs. But the level 1 version is properly 3 turns of glyph, whereas level 2 used to be where level 1 was now. Basically it meant that level 1 was kind of useless unless you put a spell point in it. But it's got better now, I guess, and this was really dumb because level 1 is exactly the same thing as level 5 now. This might get nerfed in the future, but as it stands now, it's the best level 1 spell ever. Level 6 version is also awesome as always, with 3 cells of circle of AoE, and now definitely takes 3 AP, so that's always a plus. Teleportation. This one got a minor buff, it's 4 AP at all levels. The cooldowns and range is slightly nerfed at level 1 to 5, that's supposedly to balance out the 4 APness during 1 to level 5. Nonetheless, level 6 is the same, so no worries if your level is 160 or higher. Burning Glyph. This one had a semi-nerf. Now it's 30, 32 as opposed to 27, 35 previously. It basically means that 3 damage is upped on the low end and 3 damage has gone down on the top end. I again didn't prefer if they didn't do this, but they want everything to be like Kraz nowadays, so there you go. But it's basically the same, so raise it back again if they re-imbuse your points. Feca Shield. This one got a major buff. It is now 3 AP at all levels. The level 6 cooldown is 6 turns and it lasts for 5 turns. That means that there is only 1 turn of good gap. This is very cool because if you cast all your armors in the first turn and Feca Shield in the second turn, you can never go unprotected. The previous versions, level 1 to 5, is 7 turns cooldown and 5 turns duration, making it on par with the previous version of that 2-turn gap that you had in between. Next, Paralyzing Glyph. This one is a minor buff. The range is increased at 8 cells maximum at level 6, and it's overall better spell now. Glyph of Repulsion. This one went under some massive change. Now this is a final change to the Feca, and Glyph of Silence no longer exists. They've deleted it, it's now replaced by the spell, and it's a glyph of 1 square on a cross. It's 2 AP to use, hits in fire, water, earth, and you can cast it every turn. Unlike other glyphs, this activates at the end of their turn, so the idea behind using this glyph is that you could cast it underneath you so whoever is locking you wants to walk away. Alternatively, you can cast it underneath a locker, be it an AGI SRAM or SAC, or perhaps yourself with an AGI hybrid. So those who are locked will take the damage. It's an interesting spell. I personally haven't raised it. You can have it at level 1 to 5, which I felt that there's not much difference between the two, so I never raised it. Well, that ends my spell review, so if you have any questions or perhaps suggestions, they're very welcome. Thanks for watching, and see you later.